Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Answering the Bell with Stormybman, our Sunday morning call-in for this Sunday, January 4th, 2026. This is number 190 in the series of call-ins, as we have just made our 7th annual birthday for the channel Stormybman. Welcome, everybody. I hope that you were awakened in your proper frame of mind, that you are blessed to see this anointed day, another day that we have been graced with. Because it is not by our own power that we rise. Yeah. So, apologies again for last night. I tried to do my post-fight show and things were really acting up on me. YouTube has changed something in their studio. Configurations are now different, have a different alignment. And because I use a couple of different encoders to upload my content specifically, I'm just giving an explanation here of what's been happening. I use OBS and I also use StreamYard. There was a third one that I was using, but I decided to do away with that, which was Melon. But I am now on Rumble, and I'm on Rumble for a specific reason, more so than StreamYard and OBS. So as I ask and refer people to come and follow me, if you follow me here on Stormybman, please follow me there at Rumble, because as I obtain a following of 100 or more, I will be able to broadcast exclusively there, go live from that platform. And it is an alternate way to produce your content, but also without restrictions of copyrighted material and people micromanaging your broadcasts and streams. You don't have to deal with the interruptions over there. I've heard many people say that when I've done the dual streaming, you have witnessed that it's a lot clearer over there. Clarity is important in more ways than one. So, just to explain to you that this is what I'm trying to do, where I'm trying to go, and am relying upon your support to assist in making these transitions take place with a quickness. It's important to be able to do that. It's important to be able to have the support that I have received from many of you over this past several years. And just know that when I produce the content, I do it with you in mind, and I also do it with a sense of pride to want to bring it with quality. You know, I'm not just trying to pop up on the air and show my face on the camera and show my rear end to the world. No, that's not what I'm about over here. And they know this, which is why the obstructions come into play. So, in all understanding, you have to be able to still produce without the interference overtaking. So yeah, for those of you who are currently in today's broadcast chat, if you've already followed me on Rumble, please write in the Rumble chat just to let me know that you're there, because like I said, the show of support is more important than you know. And I try to bring you guys along with that process because I want you to understand and be a part of it so that there's none of the support that's left behind. We always want people to be along for the journey as we ascend, huh? I try to do that consistently. Yesterday's card was a long one. The show began roughly around 1:30 p.m. Central Time and took us all the way through to about almost 10:30 Central Time. That's a long day of boxing, people. Coming through from San Juan, Puerto Rico, the homeland of Amanda Serrano, the unified featherweight champion, and I still consider her the undisputed champion, even though the WBC removed themselves from her grace because they didn't want to sanction 3-minute rounds nor 12 rounds with their title and that champion. But it's fine because she still enters the Hall of Fame without any shame on her name. Yeah. The disgraced WBC is a trinket that she could do without anyone in any way, and anyone with the type of representation that she has brought to the sport. Just let it be said that, you know what? She still has grace in her accomplishments. Still there be grace. You see, when she does do her walk into the Hall of Fame, who do you think will be one of the first people who will try to be in her face, trying to applaud her and celebrate her accomplishment? Who do you think? I'm telling you, you couldn't make this crap up if you wanted to. So, as I open this morning's show, I will do a bit of a rehash on last night's affair, with the main event being Amanda Serrano taking on Rihanna Tellis. Tellis was a last-moment replacement for Erica Cruz, who Amanda had fought back in 2023 and won a unanimous decision over, but someone who also had garnered a place in the sport of respect that she was going to circle back around and be a contender again for this particular show. But she popped dirty for banned substances, as so many top fighters have done in 2025. And so Amanda was left either looking to have to scrap the event or find a late-minute replacement. And Rihanna came in with an undefeated record, but was not training or prepared to necessarily fight for the titles, though she had that undefeated record and she was coming in to give her best. She accepted the opportunity, and Serrano was able to maintain the card in Puerto Rico. You see, the last time she wanted to fight in Puerto Rico, something came up in the last moment, the day before her fight, and she had to pull out of the fight. So here we are again, and she had another situation beyond her control where a fighter just couldn't do their part. Now, Riena wasn't able to make the weight. She was trying, but apparently she came in a couple of quarter of ounces off, and so that meant that had she been victorious in battle, she wouldn't have won the unified titles. She just would have had a victory over Serrano. Serrano could retain the titles with victory, of course, and the fight went through. Now, Serrano ended up, this was 3 minutes, but not 12 rounds. It was 10 rounds, and she won a unanimous decision, but she was not very clean in this fight, meaning that Amanda took a lot of punches in this fight, I think unnecessarily. Now, she could possibly argue that Riena's punching power didn't trouble her, but this isn't the first time that I've seen her take these punches cleanly. She was taking shots cleanly from Katie Taylor. And Katie is a bigger woman, fighting at, I believe, super lightweight now. And Amanda just took clean punches all night long. And I had remarked to some of the family behind the scenes, I'm like, you know what? This is not a good thing. She's taking shots very clean. She should be slipping. She should be moving. She should have her guard up. But, you know, with over 50 fights for her career, we haven't seen a lot of women fighters with 50 fights. This is going to show up, people, down the line. And typically something like that will show up when you are at least 5 years removed from the activity. And because Amanda is getting older, I think she's in her late 30s now, she needs to really take into consideration, if she's going to continue to box, she needs to be more mindful of defense. And I'm going to say this. She shouldn't fight above her weight anymore. Stay at featherweight. Now, I know there could be more tempting opportunities above featherweight and the money, but your health and well-being is more important. It's something that I hope that her people around her can convince her of this, the significance. It's important to take care of yourself. It's important, people. I just want, when you have icons in a sport like Amanda Serrano, and she is an icon, you want the best for them, or you should want the best for them. I don't want to see the lady hurt. She's shown time and time again that she has lived up to the name and moniker of the real deal. And she is definitely a true warrior of the Puerto Rican family of fighting and boxing. I just want to see her maintain and have a nice quality of life when she's finish with boxing. I try to stress that a lot because a lot of people, they don't they don't think of fighters as human beings. They just think of them as the warriors that represent the sport, and like they don't have lives outside of the sport when they're not fighting, that they don't have loved ones that hug them and kiss them and call them dad and mom and all of that. It's like they're human beings, people. And you should always want the best for them when they are not in that ring. You should want the best. And she did something also in yesterday's show where there was an opportunity for Fighter of the Night, MVP Promotions and Amanda, where they had it was a heavily Puerto Rican representative of promotion last night. They had a Fighter of the Evening. And that Fighter of the Evening, whether it was Amanda or anyone else that was on the card, would win an additional $25,000. It was like a bonus, huh? And guess what? In a fight that was just before the co-main, they had that young Olympic hopeful who was, coming into the fight. He was Yankiel Rivera taking on former champion, titleist, I should say, Jonathan Gonzalez. This was an opportunity for Yankiel coming in, like I said, with a record of only 7 wins. He came in there and they had wondered whether or not it would be too much for him to chew. Jonathan Gonzalez started that fight off definitely boxing with an intent. He's 34 years of age. He's a southpaw. And in his last fight, he was stopped in 1 round. So I don't know if Rivera's people were thinking like, at flyweight, this is an opportunity. We got our Olympic credentials. We're coming in. We're fighting at home in Puerto Rico. Gonzalez was like, hold my tecate, huh? He was ready for this fight. And with a record of 28-4 with 1 draw and 14 KOs, he came in, but they were kind of dismissive of his accomplishments. We're talking about a man who had the WBO flyweight title back as early as October of 2024 when he lost to Anthony Olascoiga, and that was that first round stoppage. But he had defended that title a few times, and though he wasn't knocking a lot of guys out, he was winning decisions, so he could fight. And Rivera ran in there on him and found himself on the canvas in the second round. Shook up several times throughout the fight. And it just turned out to be a situation where Gonzalez proved to be too much for the young man. I mean, Rivera should be able to bounce back. He's 28. But he's going to have to get his stuff together. He's going to have to get his stuff together, man. But when they announced, when that lady who does the ring interviews, Claudia, I forget her last name, she told him that you won the fighter of the night with your performance, and so you get the additional $25,000. You could have saw Gonzalez, all of his emotion and feeling just came and poured through. I was so happy for the guy. I almost teared up for him because he was just so elated, man. So elated because he was brought in as an opponent. He was not brought in as a featured anything. And for him to prevail the way he did and to come out on top with the fighter of the night credentials and bonus, salute to that young man. And I call him a young man because he's still young enough to be a son of mine. But it's like that old vet showed the young guy what was up. So that was an amazing accomplishment for him. And it puts him right back into contention. And it also shows you he's been stopped 4 times in his losses. His 4 losses were 4 stoppages. But he could still come back and teach somebody a lesson. You see there? You see that? That's what boxing is all about. This is why I tell you guys, watch the sport of boxing. Because it's going to teach you constantly, just like life will teach you constantly. It's going to teach you and you're going to learn. You know that old saying, oh, you're going to learn today. Yeah. And that's what he did. He brought that. Yeah. And so this is what we have. Let me take a quick moment and see who we got in the chat this morning. I know I've been rumbling on, but see, I didn't get a chance to do the post-fight last night. I didn't get a chance to do it. So, I'm just doing a little bit of a catch-up recap type of thing, We got Ravens Nation out there. What's happening? Eric Jordan in the building. Chris Keeps Boxing in the building. Universal Truth is back. And Universal, I know you're the only one that pulled up last night as I was signing off, but I was already logging off when I saw you write in the Rumble chat. I wasn't ignoring you, but I had already killed the button to end the show. But I did see you, and I respect you for coming out there because I had asked people to write, and when nobody was writing, and you did. You said, we're here, Sensei. I saw you, but I had already hit the thing. But thank you, Universal. T. Berry is in the building. What's happening with you? The real Mr. Shelton is out there. What's going on, Mr. Shelton? Good Sunday morning to you. The brother Drew Titan is out there with his 3 channels, Painful Excellence and Bear Cave. Freedom's March is with us this morning. What's good with you, Freedom's March? Enjoyed that little bit of a collaboration we had yesterday. Joe Gagliardi is out there. What's happening with you? Del Riv in the building this morning. What's happening, Del Riv? Everybody, please hit that like button, please. And like I said, as many of you as can. Will Sinclair is now joined us over there at Rumble. Thank you so much, Will, for coming over there to show support to Stormybman. And Jamal Davis, I see you over there as well. Grand rising to you brothers this morning. 88 Sports Talk is with us today. What's good with you? Jimmy Bernard is out there as well. Vince Vilborn is in the building this morning. What's happening with you, Vince? Where you been? Yeah. And EJ is out there saluting everybody, singularity out there instead of putting them all under one, post, because he just wants his name to be in the rafters, huh? The most comments in Stormy B Man's chat. Well, that's a C- for you right there, EJ, because I done told you about that foolishness, huh? I'm watching you, brother. I'm watching you. And you're working on something there, huh? And it ain't good. Yeah. Freedom's March says, indeed, Sensei, it was an honor to have you on. Bro, it's an honor to be on when you guys are doing great stuff, man. I just love it. You know, I tell you guys all the time, I support the quality out there, bro. I support the quality out there. And as long as people can hold fast and hold your head, man, because there are people out here who will influence you to do other things and kind of get off track. But you got to be smarter than that. And Freedom's March, I know you are smarter than that, but I'm speaking over the airwave of the significance of this because many people have succumbed to that and got washed out to sea, huh? Some to never return, huh? And some you don't want to return. Yeah, huh? Yeah, you keep the flies out the house, huh? That's what you do. Yeah. Will Sinclair says, I got both streams going. That's what's up, man. And thank you again, Will, for your support on both channels, man. And sign up when you guys get a chance. Put that sign up to the Stormybman Temple of Culture and Entertainment channel too, because we'll be having extra streams going on over there with uploads going on over there. In fact, EJ, since you so busy putting stuff in the chat, why don't you put the links for my other two channels in the chat for me, brother, since you always typing stuff in there. Put in Stormybman's Kung Fu Temple and Entertainment and put in the Culture and Entertainment channel links into the chat for me, please. Put them in there, huh? Yeah! We got Coach Hudson in the building as well. What's going on with you, Coach Hudson? Good to see you this morning. Coach Hudson be over there cooking too, man. See, you guys, hey, listen, and you younger brothers, man, I love the fact that you're able to hold fort, man. Hold fort. And with someone with a young mind like Coach Hudson, you got some good stuff going there, man. Just keep on doing what you're doing, brother. Keep on doing what you're doing. And I love the show you did the other day when you had the brother Drew Titan on there and the other gentleman on there, and you were letting them talk out the sorts of circumstances, huh? And that was handled very professionally and with admiration that I was listening to that. So, I give props to where it's due. Great stuff there, bro. Great stuff. Snoopy Mac in the building. What's happening with you, Snoopy Mac? Good to see you this morning. Yeah. And who is that? We got everybody else is saluting one another again. Yeah. Chris Keeps Boxing says the family is here. I love to see this. Yeah. Chris Keeps Boxing, did you have another account? Because I'm not familiar with you, but the fact that you're here and you are calling people family, I take it that some of them are more familiar with you than I am. So just know that Stormybman be watching, huh? Now, I ain't seen you out there before, so if you show up a little bit more, you'll hear me call on you a little bit more. And if you bring some shady, funny business around, Stormybman hands out F pluses, huh? Just like I do the high grades. So just be prepared, strap your seatbelt up, huh? And you don't want to be out there because Stormy will put you on that special bus, huh? That special bus, you guys know what that is, huh? I ain't showed you that in a while, but just know when you mess up around here, yeah. So when you mess up around these parts, Stormybman got a special class for you, huh? When you're out there effing up, huh? Yeah. You thought I forgot? I ain't forgot. Some of y'all just took your seatbelts off. You better put them back on, huh? And don't forget them plastic helmets either, huh? That's right. Yeah. Running around here. Shit. That's right. Yeah, but EJ put those links for the other 2 channels in there, the Temple of Culture and Entertainment and the Kung Fu Temple of Entertainment. If you go over there, click on there, and you guys give me a sub over there too, because the Kung Fu channel talk about the Kung Fu movies and the Shaw Brothers and Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan and Jet Li and Donnie Yen. That's what's over there. Sonny Chiba. That's what we talk about over there. Culture and entertainment, we talk about everything, like Nerds on Culture stuff, as well as music and sports, whatever. Huh? Music. That's what those channels are for. You see, once I diversified, I was able to break things up and be able to put things where they need to go. That way, somebody who comes here, because this is the primary boxing channel here. You dig? And that's why we do this. Vince says, my main channel was removed by YouTube. This is my backup, Sensei. Okay. Well, man, why they remove you, bro? They be on some stuff, don't they? All right, let me hit you up with a wrench here so you could be wrenched up here, Vince. I just hit you with a wrench. He said, going to check and see if I'm subscribed now on this channel. Well, if you wasn't subscribed, I don't know what you waiting for, huh? 7 years, bro, huh? New Year's Eve was my birthday, huh? And you ain't even say happy birthday, Sensei. See, you already working on that F+, Vince Van Born, see? And you come in here, they took your channel. They took your channel because you wasn't showing no support for Stormybman. See, they get funny about their business, huh? Yeah. Yeah. I'm passing out gift trips and everything with the damn F+s. That's right. Yeah. Anyway, so Jonathan Gonzalez, he got that 25,000 bonus, man. Now you know it's gonna help him out, huh? It's gonna help him out. You can buy a lot of bags of rice with that, huh? Yeah. Now that co-main event, I was kind of feeling a little funny about that co-main, you guys. Stephanie Han against Holly Holm. Now, though Han looked like she was on her way to scoring a unanimous decision anyway, what was the fight stopped in the 6th round, 7th round? But she got a headbutt clash in I think the 6th. But the blood, it was squirting out. So she must have hit one of them spots when they came together with the head clash. You know, even though they wipe it a few minutes later, a few seconds later, it just starts squirting out. So I can understand why they stopped it. But Han did say respectfully that she would give her a rematch. And Holly Holm agreed that, hey, yeah, because nobody wants to see the fight end like it did. And, you know, this was for Jessica's, I think she has the the WBA lightweight title. And Holly Holm is now 44 years of age, you guys. And Han is 35. So if they're going to do it again, maybe on the next MVP card, they could get it in. But first couple of rounds, I had Holly Holm competing kind of well. And then she fell into a routine that Stephanie seemed to time. She was able to time her with what she was doing, and she caught her coming in, and she began. Stephanie had more punch variety too. Now Holly had good movement. Her lateral movement and turning was done very well, but she couldn't set things up. It was the lack of boxing experience over what Han had been able to show in there. And that's where she ran into some trouble. So yeah. But overall, the MVP card was not a bad card. I've seen worse, definitely. But another thing that they did very well on that broadcast was they ushered the fights right along. There wasn't a lot of breathing room in between the bouts. And you could appreciate that, because sometimes some of these promotional companies, they just take too long moving on to the next fights, So they were able to get that going, and we appreciated that. So, but yeah. See you guys here. We're going to open those call lines up. See who we got. Who we got out there this morning. Call lines are now open. Want to do a quick check and make sure that the line is working well. Man, what we got here? That page is suffering, I see. Doo-doo-doo. That's why I have to double check. Okie doke. So it's ready now. I had to refresh the page. A little bit of computer memory. Okay, EJ over there on Rumble says, my favorite day of the week, answer the bell, learning more of the sport of boxing and who getting the next F+. Heavyweight? Sensei, your knowledge and wisdom is appreciated. Thank you so much there, EJ, over there on Rumble with the donation. Thank you, sir. But the lines are open now, fellas. You know, you want to talk some boxing. And I'm going to end the show at noon today because I got some stuff I got to do. So I won't go to 12:30 like I normally do. So let's talk some boxing. Let's see here. We got some fights coming up too that we could talk about. Next Saturday, we got that Sabril Matias and Dalton Smith card coming up. That's going to be on the Zone. Good. That's a good card. We know Matias popped dirty. WBC has pulled the Canelo Alvarez with him on that, changing the levels of what he was popped dirty for. So, again, get the WBC the hell up out of here, man. Get him out. But yeah. Nobody has nothing to say about these fights coming up. Also, we got on the 10th, the heavyweights are returning. We got Ajit Kabiel taking on Naiba. This fight is over in Germany, guys. But it's going to be on the Zone. So you'll get a chance to see Kabiel. Some people are saying that this Naiba kid is going to give him a good fight. But Kabiel knows how to fight big guys. We'll see what happens. He really should be getting a title shot. They were talking about Joseph Parker deserved the title shot. No, this is the man who deserves the title shot, Ajit Kabiel. No, this is the guy. And then don't forget on the 16th, we got the rematch coming up with Alexis Rocha taking on, what's his name? Ramon Curiel. Good fight there, you know. The first fight, welterweight, saw there'd be a little bit of a upset. They thought that Alexis Rocha was just going to walk over Curiel like a, you know, like a tune-up type deal or something. I keep telling you guys, when somebody's highly motivated, you just don't never know what will happen. And then in a couple of weeks, we got the heavyweight showdown where UK hopeful Moses Atuma is taking on Jermaine Franklin. Will Franklin come in and show up that he is about ready to take it to the max? Or will he come in there and let them locks lay down on the canvas for a tumor. What's really going on? Yeah, we'll see. And of course, at the end of the month, you got A Tale of Two Shitties, huh? You got Shittifimo Lopez and Shitty Cuz coming together in a battle for New York, New Jersey, whatever you want to call it. These two guys, nincompoops, huh, are going to get in there and get it on. We'll find out who is the better. Personally, both of them are in the stinker as far as I'm concerned. But one of them must prevail and step foot forward. And it's not a shoe-in for either guy. Huh? This is probably the most shitty fight of the year so far, huh? And when I say shitty, that's instead of saying 50-50, huh? Yeah! Uh-huh. Just like Nutella, these two guys. Who cares, right? I mean, you don't be embarrassed. Who wants to see this fight? Who really wants to see it? Put a 1 in the chat if you really want to see this fight between these two nincompoops. Huh? Really? If it strokes your ego to see boxing by these two. I don't know. I know they asked Derek James what did he think. This was Derek James. This is Derek James' reaction.
Derek, can you talk to us about the fight? What you think? What you think about the fight, the outcome, Ryan's performance?
He's like, why are you asking me? I don't give a damn. Snoopy Mac is over there in the Rumble. He says, Stormy, you ever think about doing a show on black karate experts that have impacted the arts, such as Grandmaster Sijo Steve, Muhammad, and Dr. Moses Power? Listen, man, not only am I going to do a show on it, I'm going to do a show on the documentary on those guys, the Black Kung Fu Experience. That's one of the shows I have been intending to do, but I didn't want to do it just on the Stormy channel. I wanted to do it over there on my Kung Fu channel. So thank you for lighting the fire under me. That might be my very next live that I do, the Black Kung Fu Experience documentary from a few years back. But yeah, thank you, Snoopy Mac. Thank you. Yep. But anyway, these guys out here don't want to fight each other and everything. This is a video clip that I saved just for guys like that. You know, don't nobody want to get in the ring with Devin. And it's the promoters trying to angle things and stuff, keeping Devin frozen out on the outside and everything. But anyway, this is something strictly for these guys who don't want to fight each other. Richardson Hitchens and what's the other one? The Russells, huh? All of them. The Russells, all of them. Shawty, Huh? Yeah, y'all.
You know, a lot of folks, I smell pussy right now. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I think that shit is you. Yeah, it's you.
Yeah. Hmm? Yeah. Yeah, they running around here acting like they all badder than bad, huh? And won't get in the ring with nobody. In the meantime, they want to talk about Devin and put him down. Oh, he's pillow-fisted and he got no chin and all of that. In the meantime, Devin is like this on their ass. Yeah, Debo jacking it up in the bowling alley. Yep. That's what's up, man. See, these guys, man, all they gotta do is get in the ring, right? Get in the ring. Now look here, we got Enoch Bird out there giving his commentary on the fight. When did I mention that? What, 20 minutes ago? F plus. F plus. Do you see why America is falling behind? Do you see why this country is so bad? Do you see why you got a guy like you got in the White House? Huh? This is all a result of that, directly and indirectly. All encompassing. Yeah. This is why I got almost 100 views on this video, but only how many likes? $30. Keep telling you, you can't make this stuff up, man. Can't make it up. Freedom's Mark, why don't you call in, bro? Freedom's Mark.
Something. It's 11:30. We're supposed to be here. You know, we're supposed to be there by 9. Yeah, you're always fucking late. You're late for your own fucking funeral.
Mm-hmm. And R.I.P. to our brother Clay Davis, man.
Shit. Got your ass.
I'm gonna miss that dude. But he'll live forever here on Stormy's channel. I think I know the reason why y'all can't hit the like button and can't call in, too, huh? You've been exposed.
Every move is calculated. I do numbers calculator. You don't got my cash or payment, pussy boy, I'm a calculator. Ride with that soul.
Air pumping out there, you motherfuckers. Swear you getting you some. You ain't getting the damn thing. Oh, forbid a call. Okay, we got 951 calling. Is that EJ?
Yes, it is.
What's good, man? What's happening?
Nothing much. It's good. It was just basically, a good week for boxing. For the
Yeah.
most part. The only two fights I got to see the Amanda Serrano fight and Rivera versus Gonzalez. Rivera versus Gonzalez. That was a good fight for the upper card.
Which one you talking about?
Hey, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you sound a little muffled. Like, I don't know if you just.
I'm just on the regular phone.
No.
Okay.
Turn your volume down a little bit. Just try that. Turn your volume down just a little bit, a couple of notches.
Hear me better?
Hold on. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Now you were saying you got to see which fight?
I got to saw the Serrano fight and Rivera versus Gonzalez.
Yeah. Rivera and Gonzalez.
That was a good fight. I think. You say it again?
I was saying Rivera and Gonzalez was an interesting situation because they took the young guy and they put him in with that veteran. And he got taught a little lesson or two, you know, which was okay. It happens, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Cause I'm like, I remember with the announcer, Nonito Donaire, he was trying to get basically, his consideration was for him to kind of change his adjustment to hit like Gonzalez's arms or someone else's body so he could set up a punishment punch, but yeah, Rivera wasn't going with none of that at all.
Well, Jonathan Gonzalez is a veteran, man. He's got like 3 times the many fights that Rivera had, you know. And that's just not a fight as a matchmaker I would have made, but I understood what they were trying to do. Of course, Gonzalez is from Puerto Rico, and they were trying to make it a heavy Puerto Rican card, which was fine. But he got stopped in his last fight in 1 round. So they were thinking like, oh, he might be on his way out. No, he was not on his way out. And he showed that he had a lot to teach the young whippersnapper, huh? He did. And that's, you know, that's the mistake that the UK guys are trying to avoid with Moses Atuma. They want to put him in there with people, but they don't want to put him in there with somebody that's going to teach him a lesson like that. And then they be like, damn, we jumped the gun. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying that Jermaine Franklin need to jump all over this opportunity, get in the best shape of his life, and go in there and do what he's capable of doing. He's been in the ring with Joshua. He's been in the ring with Dillian White. It's time for him to get in there and show some people, hey, you got to respect me, you know? But I'm going to tell you something.
I agree.
If he come in there with man boobs, like he's been known to do sometime, and that belly that he comes in there that shows that he just had Thanksgiving 2 times, you know what I mean? Hey, listen, I don't even want to see it. I don't want to see it. Because listen, you could take your career by the throat. And this is not like he didn't have a long time to train. He had plenty of time. So if he shows up rotund and everything, and he gets rolled over in the ring, I don't ever want to see him again. Jermaine Franklin.
For that one.
So that's what I say about that. But yeah, Serrano in her fight, you know, I was talking with some of the family and I was saying she was taking too many clean punches, man. Clean punches. No head movement whatsoever. And then that eye damage that she had, which was showing that she was getting hit flush. Now, Rihanna was not known as a big puncher, but she's a good fighter. She can box and fight, but she don't have power like that. So if that was Katie Taylor, you know, who Amanda done lost 3 in a row to, you know, she's getting older, bro. She got over 50 fights now. That's a lot for a woman.
That is. You ain't lying there, she do got a lot of fights. I was actually impressed with Telly. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly.
Tellis, yeah.
She, you know, her opponent, she was actually, I guess you could say have a Puerto Rican warrior spirit or whatever.
Well, remember this too. She only had 10 days.
Yeah.
So that's why she didn't make weight, because she agreed to take the fight and she thought she could get all the way down and make the weight, but she couldn't. She came in a couple of ounces over, you know, but they still went through the fight. But if she had been victorious, she wouldn't have been able to win the titles. But she did, for someone that took the fight on 10 days notice, man. She went the distance. Look at Amanda's face. She did that to the world champ. You know what I mean? It's like she got a
Yeah.
lot. She got a lot to take out of that fight as a positive. But also,
I
there's
agree.
another lesson for fighters in general. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. See, this is how you know a lot of these fighters are not living the fighter's lifestyle. And I know, again, coming out of Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday, Amanda's fight was January 3rd. But the mindset of a real competitive fighter should be like, you know what? It's the holidays. Somebody gonna F up. And this will be my chance to step in. That's how you have to look at it. Hold on one second, EJ. Hold on.
It reminds me of,
Hello?
Yo,
Yeah, who we got?
Sensei.
That Freedom March?
Freedom March, brother.
Okay, hold on one
Yes, sir.
second. Hold on one second. Yeah, EJ.
yeah.
Yeah. No. You didn't do anything wrong. I just Freedom's March has called in too. I'm gonna give him a chance to have some airtime.
Oh, go ahead. I'll let you have a time right there.
Yeah. Let him shine because he's on limited time. Let me bring him in, okay?
All right, go ahead.
All right. Thanks, bro. Okay. Yeah, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we got the brothers Freedom March on the line. I let salute, bro. I let EJ know that you were calling in and wanted to bring you in, give you some airtime, bro. That's why,
It's all good. I appreciate it, man. About to take my daughter's driving.
Oh, okay.
That thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I didn't catch those fights last night, but they sounded interesting.
Well, yeah, they had what it was, man, is that Amanda Serrano 2 years ago, she was over there and was gonna fight in Puerto Rico, and the night before the fight, or the day before the fight, she had something happen where she was at the beauty shop or something like that. It got in her eye, something. She couldn't fight. The doctor said that she couldn't fight. So she had to cancel her match. The card went on, but she couldn't fight. And she had wanted to bring a fight to Puerto Rico before she ended her career. So then this fight card from last night was her second attempt in doing this, but her original opponent, Erica Cruz, popped dirty. So
crazy.
Yeah. So she didn't want to cancel. So they found Rihanna Tellez, who agreed to take the fight. She was an undefeated fighter coming in, but she only had 10 days to get ready, So
yeah, that's not a long time at all.
Yeah. So, but she did well though. For someone who hadn't trained for Amanda Serrano. Do you understand? And it's like,
I do understand it.
It's like, it's really messed up. And just as I was saying to EJ in the last call, I was like, we fighters need to start approaching the sport with more diligence. Like the old guys used to stay in shape. These guys today, they get out of shape. They do different things. They live not the lifestyle of a fighter, but they live the lifestyle of a regular person, but want to play a fighter. You know what I mean? And you can't do that.
No, they live a life like a rapper or something like that.
That too.
They live a life as an entertainer, and they are entertainers. But you're not a rapper. You're not a movie star. You're a fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there's nothing wrong with hanging out and partying and having fun. But man, like these guys, they just get out of it, and then they expect to come back for a fight camp, and I'll get in shape in 2 or 3 months. Look at Adrian Broner. That's a perfect example of how if you don't live a life as a fighter, you see how much trouble you can get in. And now look at them, you know,
Yeah.
crazy work.
Yeah.
So,
But they damage
and I
themselves.
don't know why they don't look at fighters like Adrian Broner and say, you know, I need to do something different. I can't be doing what Adrian Broner does. And you can see it when they fight. You can see it when they're preparing. They don't really have the discipline.
Well, that's because there's no discipline across the board. Remember, these young folks of today are all assimilated. You come from an era, because you're not too far from behind me, but you come from an era where individuality still meant something.
Yes.
These young people of today, dude, they got to do what's popular. They got to do what the next person's doing. Oh, why are you wearing that? Well, that's what everybody's wearing. What?
Crazy work.
You know what I'm saying? It's like robots. If everybody's going to be cloned, you might as well be like those people. You remember that movie? Did you ever see that movie with Taye Diggs and Christian Bale called Equilibrium?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember that society that they lived in? Everything was
They
so
had
monosyllabic.
individuality.
Yeah, everything was so monosyllabic, and they all took an injection every day, and they walked around like clone robots.
Yeah.
And if you didn't take that injection, the serum would wear off, and you begin your third eye would begin to open, so to speak, and you could see, oh, this is an alternate reality. You understand? So they kept people suppressed. Even the cars that they drove and stuff, it didn't have, you know, a car was either black or white. It was like, it was the same car. It was just either one color or the other. It was like, it was so monosyllabic.
Monochromatic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like everybody walked the same way, and it was, man. But that's what they want from society, because it's easier to control you that way.
Facts.
And the people in the film
I also related to Demolition Man when I talk about that.
Yep.
You know, where in Demolition Man, it wasn't quite as extreme as Equilibrium, but it didn't have to be, right? Because you didn't have to take any drugs. What they did was they took a disaster and they used that, right, to kind of shape society in the way they wanted to easily control people. So now, you know, in 2037, you can't cuss, you can't do this, you can't have sex, you can't touch people, you can't, none of that stuff, right? You got to go to a lab to have children. This is what they want from society. So yes, right? They want that. They want, this is what they want, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, getting back to boxing, I mean, it's relatable because if you do what a Devin Haney does or a Bud Crawford, there's no place for you in the sport anymore.
No.
As far as they're concerned.
No, they don't want you. They see, and the thing about Devin is he represents so much enraptured into one individual. And then when you factor in his dad being who he has been impacted in his life, and the fact that they have their own promotional company, think about it like this. They are made the villains, right? And they got everybody talking against them, right? But when Mayweather had TMT, that was okay, right? That was okay.
Right.
But
because he was still in line.
Right, but he was still in line, and that's what I'll be getting at. In other words, TMT didn't do nothing for nobody. But it represented something. It could have come across as individuality, but it wasn't. It was still, in other words, you remember, and I refer it to movies because it's the easiest thing to make people say, "Oh, I see what you're saying." You remember the movie Life?
Yes.
When they went to prison, and you had the head prison guard guy, and he was telling them, you guys got to do what I tell you to do, and this dude right here Tell him where the boundary marks is. Yeah, you can't go beyond that, boss. You know, that dude. It's like
Right.
that dude in the movie Life, that was Mayweather.
Mayweather, yeah. Crazy work.
Yeah, that was
Let me ask you
Mayweather.
something. Yeah, it's crazy.
But see, people don't equate that.
But-
They don't equate that, but it is. Now,
Yeah.
I forget the characters that Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence played in the movie, but their names. But
Yeah, I don't remember their name.
but Eddie Murphy, all he was thinking about was getting out of there. Remember?
That's it. Yeah.
That's Devin. You understand?
Yeah.
He trying. I see y'all in Las Vegas. You know, he trying to get the hell up out of there.
Decades. He spent decades trying to get out of there.
Exactly. But see, the rest of them didn't want to buy into it because listen, it has to. You have to formulate a support group. You know, and if you can't do that, it just becomes harder to fight. But what happens is you begin to define and crystallize who's who.
Right.
Thank you, NBA D Nice in the chat. He says Claude and Ray. Yeah, there you go. Claude and Ray.
Oh, yeah.
That
Claude
was
and
their
Ray.
names.
Yeah.
But again,
I suck at names. I don't remember names that well.
yeah, me too. Sometimes I forget, and then sometimes it just comes to me. But
Right.
when I say these things, like when a couple of years ago, Jaron Ennis could have went to DHP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Shakur,
remember that.
Shakur Stevenson could have went to
Coulda went.
DHP.
Well, Terrence Crawford told him to.
But
Remember
look, but this is the thing. We are so hell bent on being taught to not respect each other that we don't even know how to follow the representation of what's best in our own best interests. What has Ed Hearn done for Jaron Ennis in the time that he's been with him over these past 2 years?
Made him look like a sucker. That's what he did. He did something for him, but it wasn't good.
Exactly. And Shakur has looked equally, right?
Well, let me ask you something, Sensei. Before Jaron Boots Ennis signed with Eddie Hearn, did anybody look at Jaron Boots Ennis as overhyped? Like he's never fought it? No one looked at him like that until he got with Eddie Hearn. Not really. Not as deeply, right?
Right.
Because he was still young. Bud and Errol Spence was still at the top at 147 for the most part. And so, you had this thing where Bud or Teron was trying to get a fight with Bud and all this stuff, and Bud said, well, I did try to fight you. And, they had that whole back and forth thing. So there was still opportunities for Teron to really challenge himself and make a name for himself.
Right.
Right? But then Bud leaves. Errol Spence is essentially retired. And then, Espinosa ain't doing shit with him. And then, is it Espinosa or his other guy? I forgot.
Espinosa,
His manager. That was his manager, right?
yeah. Yeah, when he was with Showtime and all of that, yeah.
Yeah, when he was with Showtime. And, there was a whole back and forth about if the fight was really trying to be made between him and Bud or him and Errol. And it's like, well, some of that is probably not Jaron Boots Ennis' fault. But when Bud leaves and drops the belts, it's like, well, who's at 147? He never had an opportunity. And then Eddie Hearn comes in and says, I'm going to make sure you get the opportunities. Just sold him a dream. And now look at him. Right?
And Hearn never wanted him to stay at 147. Because the kid said, I want to be undisputed. Hearn did nothing to make that happen. He kept trying to suggest that you go up to 154. Now, hindsight being 2020, Why was Hearn trying to get him up to 154? Because Hearn wants Conor Ben to collect a belt at 147.
147.
He always has one.
Eddie Hearn
And
is
even though
old,
Conor
like,
Ben
man.
hasn't been at 147 since
In 3
Moses.
years?
Since Moses. He ain't been down there.
Yeah.
But see, this is the corruption of the sport.
Mm. You what was that young lady's name that popped dirty for Serrano? She had to get a replacement. What was her name?
Erica Cruz.
Erica Cruz. What happened to her? What happened? Was there any outrage?
Well, I did a video on it, and I talked about it. Her people said with the typical byline, which was, we're going to prove our innocence, but ain't nothing's been said about her being innocent.
And what happened to Jaime Munguia and the other 6?
Jaime Munguia suffered in silence, but he's still in the Russo gym, and I think he's been like name is being considered for some more fights now, but he laid low.
Did they punish him? Did they suspend him?
To my knowledge, they didn't suspend him, but he ain't fought in a while. You know, he was a guy that fought frequently, right? So it could be a minor suspension, but a minor suspension for someone like him would be just don't fight for a few months and we hope that everything gets swept under the rug. You know, this is, again, this is the thing. Okay, I did a video on everybody that popped dirty this year, in 2025 rather. I did a video on everybody, and I talked about the corruption of the WBC and Suleiman, and I talked about the bias and racial prejudice that the WBC has shown. But guess what? I'm one person. I'm one small channel, and there are others who have a stronger voice and a greater access to people. They won't do it, bro. They won't talk that talk because they are on the take. They are shilling for these organizations and sanctioning bodies and even certain fighters. So, again, the masses get misinformed. Mm-hmm. You know, because I talk about the things. I talk about the corrupt officials. I talk about the bad referees. But if I'm the only one...
Yeah, that's true. And that's the reason I brought all the dirty popping up is because you mentioned the corruption, right, when you were talking about Eddie Hearn. And if you look at Eddie Hearn, he had Conor Ben, who popped dirty.
And Dillian White.
And Dillian
White popped dirty several times. And Anthony Joshua has popped dirty, but they try to say that he had testosterone exemptions and stuff like that. You don't get to be built up like Anthony Joshua got built up and not be taking something. Yes. Think about it. If go back and look at Anthony Joshua when he won the so-called gold medal in the Olympics, and then look at him in his 5th or 6th pro fight, where they done built his body up, they done had plastic surgery and everything, bro. Anthony Joshua was carved out of a lab for them to represent in the heavyweight division. Absolutely. In the meantime, Deontay Wilder was knocking people's skulls out of their head on the other side.
Yeah. Yes. And then Andy Ruiz took his ass down. Right? He fell from Mount Olympus, but yet Eddie Hearn is still able to run around. And fighters still go to him for representation. Which is what this is the biggest problem with the sport. The corruption is not singular. It's like it goes in so many different directions. How they maneuver in the rankings, how they manipulate the rankings, right? How certain promoters have certain sway with certain sanctioning bodies.
Yep.
Right? And now it looks like the Ring magazine is on some nonsense. Right? BFTB broke down what did he break down? I forgot which division that was. And he was talking about the the ring rankings, right?
I think he was talking about the welterweights, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
the
the
welterweights.
Yes, yes. He was talking about the welterweights and how certain fighters got into certain positions, and it's like, look, now it's the Ring magazine is on this nonsense too now. So there's so much corruption in the sport in so many different aspects and facets that it's like, all right, so what is the solution? Right? What is the solution to the proliferation of drug PD use, the proliferation of ranking manipulations, the proliferation of Eddie Hearn, right, interfering with unifications? He shouldn't be able to do that. If Louis Crocker wants to fight Devin for unification, he needs to shut up. Eddie Hearn needs to shut up and let his fighter do what his fighter wants to do.
Eddie Hearn has
But
messed
now
up
he's
a lot of
causing a
fighters' careers, man. A lot of fighters.
Yes.
Let's take it over to the women's division of boxing. Like you had champions like Terry Harper and Jessica McCaskill.
Yes.
We're talking about undisputed champions, right? And Eddie Hearn has set those fighters up to lose. And McCaskill, she was victimized out of that.
Man.
Terry Harper was victimized out of that.
Mm-hmm.
What they were able to do with Katie Taylor beating that girl, what's her name? The 154-pound champ.
154.
Yeah, she cause she beat Katie she beat Katie twice, but in Ireland. But they in the second fight they took the fight away from her with a decision, even though she dropped Katie, which they didn't even call the knockdown in the fight when she dropped Katie Taylor. Bro, it's like the corruption is real serious, man. They're doing so much stuff.
Extremely serious.
But see, if the people don't talk about it, because remember, you ignore it, right? And nobody's saying nothing. Yep. It'll keep on because it's like, oh, they don't care, you know? So they keep it moving. But bro, you have to talk about these things. You have to mention it. If you do not, they will just keep doing what they're doing.
Are you talking about Chantel Cameron?
Chantel Cameron, there you go. I told you, I can't, sometimes the names don't come to me because I be processing a lot of stuff at one time. Yeah. And Chantel Cameron.
Trust me, my name recognition is not good at all, but I remember details.
Yes.
But I remember details and whatnot, but names and dates, like I'll get them all mixed up, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy, right? Because even when the nonsense is known and you bring it to these people's attention, they still don't want to do anything about it. You have to kind of force them. You got to dig into them.
Right.
Like when Franchise Cruz Deserve lost that, whatever, Alejandra, what's her name? That chick that was trying to turn herself into a man. Pop dirty, and they didn't even want to give her a belt back.
Yeah, Alejandra Hermanis, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's like, why, when someone gets caught, that's it. What are we doing? You know, what are we doing? Like, there should not be any cover-ups or excuses. You know, you go through the process, you go through due process. If you don't have any contaminated supplements that you can prove, then that's it. It's a wrap. Like, what are we doing? Why are we protecting cheats? Why are we protecting stackers?
Well, listen. Like, this is the thing. And I'm gonna have to go shortly because I got some stuff to do. Listen. The reason that they protect them, is because of inclusion, bro. DEI. It's like if they didn't do this, then they wouldn't have representation in the sport.
Nope.
They wouldn't have representation.
Oh well, that's how this shit works.
Yeah,
right?
think about it.
Oh well,
Look at it. Look.
If you can't cut the mustard,
Check.
that's how it works, man.
Check this out. The NBA had a resurgence when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came out of college, right?
Yes.
It had a resurgence. And you enjoyed for the next decade great players coming out of college to the pros.
Yeah.
You had
Yep.
guys like Patrick Ewing, Akeem Olajuwon, and Michael
Karl
Jordan and
Malone.
Karl Malone. All those guys came out of college
Yep.
and stuff, right?
Charles Barkley, even though I don't like his ass, Charles Barkley came out.
But-
he was a force.
But listen, here we go. But then even Shaq played at LSU a couple of seasons, right? So
Yep, he did.
then all of a sudden there was another shift
Straight out of college.
of bringing guys out of high school again, Kevin Garnett and those guys, right?
Yep.
That's
Kobe.
and that
LeBron.
started at, and then LeBron, yeah, and the names go on. But wait a minute though, when they start taking those black players out of high school, the game, it stayed at a certain level, but there was talent that just couldn't measure up. So what did they start doing? They started importing the European players
Yep.
for inclusion.
Yep. And then they started changing rules.
Yeah.
Now,
But-
now you can't hand check and touch nobody now.
But think about it. Think about it. Did you see the shift? The shift. In other words, the guys who were coming out of college were legitimately good players.
Yes.
When they started importing guys, that meant that, oh, we won't take you guys out of high school no more because you're just a couple of dumb athletes. You ain't got no college education, blah, blah, blah. Do you see the thing that they're doing? It's like, dude, it's right in front of your face.
Mm-hmm.
They've even taken the game internationally now. You're going to other countries and playing games over there and stuff. Why is all of that done? It's for inclusion.
Yep.
Inclusion.
That's it, man.
Because in each and every sport, the representation is showing you who's the best.
Yes. Yes.
So why wouldn't boxing be the same?
Oh, man.
When
Oh,
Anthony
man.
Joshua had 3 titles and Deontay Wilder had 1, they fought tooth and nail for them not to unify for an undisputed heavyweight champion. Because the undisputed heavyweight champion typically means one thing. He's the baddest man on the planet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They can have
They
it.
was tired of that. Lennox Lewis was the last. The Klitschko's reigned for almost a decade where they had the 2 titles between them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Between them. Almost a decade. So they were happy with that representation. So they weren't going to they weren't going to let Deontay and Anthony Joshua unify for undisputed. But the moment that Fury got the belt and the moment that Usyk defeated Joshua for his belts, they made the fight for undisputed right away, didn't they?
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, they did.
You see?
Yeah, crazy work.
And, hold on, to add to his legacy, Usyk, who was undisputed after beating Joshua twice and Fury twice, gave up his IBF belt so that Dubois could have it, and then he goes and fights a rematch with Dubois and becomes undisputed twice.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes down in the books that he became an undisputed heavyweight champion twice. Padding the stats. Moses Malone used to throw the ball up off the backboard and get extra rebounds before scoring. He used to get up there in the paint, throw it up there, grab it back, throw it up there, grab it back, and then score. And like 2 or 3 rebounds on one possession. And he led the league in rebounding. Padding the stats. Now, he could have got the same amount of rebounds in the game, but he mastered it. He knew what he was doing. Bro, I am not lying to you. This is the kind of stuff that they're doing here. And people can't see the play.
Yes. Crazy work.
But hey, go ahead and give me some final thoughts here, Freedom's March, because I do got to go. Otherwise, I would keep, because I'm not supposed to go to 12:30 today. I got some stuff to do. But give me some final thoughts, and I appreciate you calling, man.
My final thoughts are, man, we got to come up with solutions for all this. And for me, one of the solutions are these fighters need to come together and take the power that they have. They need to understand the power they have and put that into practice. And, you know, the sport is for them. And these station bodies and promoters, man, they need to sit back and do their job. And their job is not to manipulate and cheat and all this stuff to pad their pockets. But I'm going to leave it at that, man. I'm going to let you go ahead and go. I appreciate you for having me up. And keep doing what you're doing, man. It's very important.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we, again,
I appreciate it.
We have to shine that light on the dark areas of the sport, man. We have to do that.
Absolutely.
We have to do it. So,
for sure.
All right, brother. You have a rest of your Sunday. Be blessed, man. And thank you again for calling in, man.
Thank you.
All right. Peace to you. All right. That was the brothers. Freedom's March calling out there. Freedom's March, if you're still in the chat too, put your link in the chat so people can be directed right over to your channel, or they could click on your name and go right over there. The brother Joe Townsend was in the building. I didn't miss you, brother. I was just talking, but thank you for stopping in. Salute to you as well. And we're going to get ready to head on up out of here. It's been a day of, you know, when I opened the lines up, people didn't call right away. But if you jump on those calls, we can get more calls in. You know, this is one of the things that I talk about doing this show, because that's how the show is driven. We rely upon you calling and being able to come in and, you know, show the support in that way. But we're going to get ready to get on up out of here, you guys. I appreciate everybody that came in. Please smash the like button on your way out, like you may have done on the way in. And we're gonna be back for another one next Sunday. So peace to everybody. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. We out.